Welcome to the World Rally Championship. We're going to take you on an unforgettable journey through 4 seasons in 14 countries and 4 continents. That's the arena for the fastest, toughest, roughest, most perilous clash of man and machine against the elements. Each rally is 3 days of hard driving, where skill, stamina and strength are key to surviving the most hostile environments on Earth. To survive, you've got to be good. And these guys are great. They're the toughest drivers on the planet, guiding their $500,000 machines through the Earth's great wildernesses in all weathers, on all surfaces. They adapt to the harshest environments to battle against each other for the coveted title of World Rally Champion. It's edge-of-your-seat stuff. All you have to do is sit back and let your senses be assaulted. This is the World Rally Championship 2002. And it all begins in winter in Monte Carlo. Here, the glamour of the Principality gives way to fierce frozen mountains where the action takes place. But it's not as cold as Sweden, where temperatures fall as low as -30 and speeds climb to 200 kilometers an hour plus. Spring brings Corsica. They call this one the Rally of 10,000 Corners. Spain is a fast and flowing asphalt event where sparks go flying when corners are cut. Cyprus is a gravel rally, but for gravel read razor-sharp rocks. This one's a car wrecker. The Argentine Andes hosts South America's rally. It's like nowhere else on Earth. Summer starts with the Acropolis rally, a melting pot of problems. Heat, rough surfaces, rocky terrain and dust are just some of the hazards. The African wilderness is the setting for one of motorsport's last great adventures. The safari is as famous as it's tough. Don't be fooled by the tranquility of Finland's forests. Here there's a high-octane adrenaline rush of a rally, and it's one of the greatest shows on Earth. 3 days, 3 different rallies. That's what they say about the WRC's newest event, Germany. Italy's a breathtaking sprint through tight hairpins on a surface that's so slippery only the fittest survive. New Zealand hosts one of the greatest gravel tests of the championship. Its almost perfect surface makes it a driver's favourite. Australia's another, gravel on the road, trees at its side. This is a potent cocktail of speed and danger. Autumn brings the championship climax in some of the greatest forest stages in the world. Here in Wales, the action is invariably as dramatic as the scenery. A rally is like no other sport on Earth. Drivers don't race against each other, they race against the clock on roads called stages. The stages can be smooth asphalt, gravel-covered forest tracks, rocky mountain passes, or snow. A WRC car might look like the one you'd see on the forecourt, but one of these will set you back a cool $500,000. That buys you a four-wheel drive, 2-litre, turbocharged monster that cruises at speeds of up to 200 kilometres an hour. To handle one, you need to be among the best drivers in the world. Their mix of talent and skill is helped by the co-driver sat at their side reading the pace notes. These are a very detailed description of the road ahead, and they let the driver know when to slow down and when to push. The real battle takes place on the stages. For the rally, these sections of road are closed so a driver can go flat out. The cars are timed to within 1/10 of a second. It's a punishing test of talent and instinct where the crews have to tackle literally anything. There could be hairpins, blind crests, slippery surfaces and deep drops off a mountainside. To be a player in the World Rally Championship, you need to be bold because the slightest error can be severely punished. But not all damage is incurable. Between certain stages, there is a service where the mechanics have just 20 minutes to repair the cars and get them back into the rally. If they go over the limit, there's a time penalty, and that's not good because every fraction of a second counts. After 3 days of grueling competition, the stage times are added up and the driver with the fastest time is declared the winner. This is Wales in November 2001. And this is Richard Burns celebrating winning the world title. Then he was driving for Subaru. In 2002, the world #1 has switched to Peugeot, where he joins Marcus Gronholm, Harry Rovanperä, and the asphalt ace, Gilles Panizzi. Driving for Subaru in 2002, a 4 times world champion Tommi Mäkinen, who joins the charismatic Norwegian Petter Solberg. Ford have 2 of the biggest names in rallying behind the wheel of their Focuses. Colin McRae and Carlos Sainz lead their attack, with the Estonian Marco Martin joining the team to drive the 3rd car.
Interesting new time.
Mitsubishi have 2 new drivers, Alistair McRae, younger brother of Colin, partners Francois Delacour, who's joined from Ford. Hyundai have a superstar too. Juha Kankkunen is a rally legend, and he partners Freddie Loix and Armin Schwartz. Driving the Skoda Octavias are Tony Gardemeister and Kenneth Eriksson. And finally Citroën. They're not taking part in all 14 rallies, but you'll be seeing a lot of Sebastian Loeb and Thomas Radstrom. Monte Carlo is the oldest and most prestigious round of the WRC. First run in 1911, its mixture of dry surfaces giving way to ice and snow has made it one of the most demanding challenges, and it's an event everyone wants to win. The balmy weather of Monte Carlo's Riviera coastline is a stark contrast to the severe winter that takes hold in the Alps. This is where the 3 days of action take place. This is Richard Burns' first outing as world champion and first event in his new car, the Peugeot 206. And this is stage 1 of the rally. And the defending champion was lucky to escape.
I made a mistake about halfway through. I came over a crest, and when the car landed, I was too far on the inside of the road, and it sort of jumped off the other side of the road and into a field. So we lost about 10 or 15 seconds.
Marcus Gronholm was the 2000 world champion. He made no secret of the fact that he wants the title back. But asphalt isn't his favourite surface. He was beating Burns, but not in contention for a maximum 10 points. Although Colin McRae's never won the Monty, he's been very close in the past. The Scot knows better than anyone that this can be a cruel and unforgiving place. Engine trouble took him out of the running, but he was still thrilling the crowds. Perhaps not in the way he'd like to, though. McRae's Ford teammate Carlos Sainz has won here before, but even the most experienced drivers can fall foul of the slippery surfaces.
Para derecha, derecha acá en cuarta, desviar a poco, abrirse en... ¡Su padre!
Still, the man they call El Matador would get a podium place at the end of the rally. This is Peter Solberg approaching the same spot where Carlos Sainz had his spin.
I think I had too much information in my pace notes, so I couldn't get everything into my head, and it was too much gravel there. And then I just came out of line, and I'm lucky to be here, so we try again.
A collision with the rock had ended Armin Schwartz's first outing in a Hyundai, leaving teammate Freddie Loix to lead their charge. It just shows how strong and safe WRC cars are. Freddie's only injury from this huge smash, a broken foot. From the inside of Roman Cresta's car, this knot looks pretty innocent. But from the outside, it's clear this has to be one of the greatest escapes of all time. Keeping well away from the mayhem, Sebastian Loeb's driving was faultless. He's one of the youngest and brightest stars of the WRC and came out in his Citroën determined to take his first victory. But that's not easy when 3 times Monty winner Tommy Mäkinen is on your tail. Loeb couldn't afford to let his nerves get the better of him. With just half a minute between them, one small mistake could mean Mäkinen will pounce. And after all, the Finn was on for a record 4th Monty win in a row.
If everything works like it should be, I'm sure it is one of the best day in my life.
On the final day, there was alarming news for Loeb. An illegal tyre change meant he was threatened with a hefty time penalty, but he was still determined to go fastest.
If I can win the rally, I will make it, and for me, I will have win it. After that, they make what they want.
Loeb charged into the stages not knowing whether the penalty would be imposed. His nerves must have been on edge as his engine cut out on this corner. There was no doubt in Tommy Mäkinen's mind as to who had won.
Yes. Pitkä vasen eri plus.
No niin, hyvä. Yes.
Kiitos. Onneksi on.
Loeb approached the end of the rally knowing he'd been the fastest over the 3 days, so he celebrated too. However, the penalty was imposed and the win given to Tommy Mäkinen, his 4th Monte Carlo victory in a row. And a maximum 10 points to kick off his season. A good start too for the Ford pairing of Sainz and McRae, but no points for defending champion Richard Burns. And Subaru take an early lead in the manufacturers' battle. Note there's no points for Citroën. They're not taking part in the full season, so they're not eligible for points. This is frozen February in Sweden. Here temperatures can plummet as low as -30, coating the forests in snow and ice and making a perfect arena for a very fast event. In fact, this is the fastest rally in the whole championship and the drivers love it. Based around the city of Karlstad to the west of Sweden's capital, Stockholm, there's 3 days of full-on, flat-out driving in the frozen forests. Championship leader Tommy Mäkinen was the first out onto the roads and first to get into trouble. This brush with a snowbank was all it took to end the Finn's rally. His air intake was blocked and his engine overheated. Next out, Sebastian Loeb. He soon learned how tough this rally is. This collision with a bank cost him a lot of precious time. But not as much as teammate Thomas Radström lost when his Citroën Zara nosedived off the road. All very embarrassing for the local hero. Colin McRae is one of rallying's natural talents, and when trouble looms for the Scot, he makes it look very easy to escape. He was chasing the silver bullets of Harry Rovanperä and Marcus Gronholm. Rovanperä is an expert on this icy surface, and he was going fast, very fast. But they couldn't catch Marcus Gronholm. Gronholm's so cool they call him the Iceman, and here he reigns supreme. Colin McRae was all too aware that catching the Finn was next to impossible.
It was a good start. We had no real problems. Just unfortunate the gap between ourselves and the Peugeots is 40 seconds.
Rising temperatures meant snow wouldn't be so much of a problem on the second day. But that didn't help Petter Solberg. Thousands of his fans had travelled from his home in Norway to cheer him on, but they didn't bring him any good luck.
Black crest, 200. Oh, is there anything you can do just to back it off? Or?
Just jump out there, look.
Negative on the snowbank.
That's his engine failing, and Petter retiring. Richard Burns was nowhere near as fast as his Peugeot teammates, and spins didn't help him either. The world champion might not have enjoyed this one, but the crowd certainly did. And there were still no worries for the leading pair. Harry Rovanperä and Marcus Gronholm still way out in front. By day 3, the thaw was complete. Alistair McRae was going faster than his brother Colin and loving it. But Colin wasn't happy. Not wanting to be beaten by his younger brother, he was pushing hard. Perhaps a little too hard. Alistair would win this one. Richard Burns was in 4th place, behind Carlos Sainz. The Spaniard finished 3rd in Monte Carlo and finished 3rd here too. It's little wonder they call him Mr. Consistency. Peugeot bring in Harry Rovanperä when they need a gravel expert, and this is why. A faultless run brought him home in 2nd place behind Marcus Gronholm. That's maximum points for the French team. And that's maximum points for Marcus. Just look at how much faster he was than the others. His charge for the title has started.
It's a good start for the season, and now we continue with 2 asphalt rallies, and I hope I can take some points also there and progress on tarmac.
So it's all changed at the top of the leaderboard. Marcus takes the lead from Tommy Mäkinen, and maximum points from the 2 Peugeots gives the French team the lead in the manufacturers' battle. This is what they mean by asphalt or tarmac. A normal road to you and me, but to these guys it means a totally different style of driving. It's so specialised, some teams bring in experts just for these rallies.
On tarmac it's very, very aggressive, and you have to push all the time to be concentrate on the line, you know, to preserve as well the tyre, and you cannot slide so much with the car.
To get a good flow around a blind corner where you might be doing 60, 70 miles an hour, but you could only see perhaps 10 metres in front of you because of the cliff face, then that's the trick really, to know when you can put the power on exiting the corner.
You just have to listen to the pace notes so carefully so that you get the right line into the next one, because you don't see the second corner.
Fast right plus in long, 40, easy right down, maybe 30, K left plus long.
The concentration is the main thing as a co-driver, and shutting out all the things that are going on around about you, so when you do get caught you can still just concentrate on reading the notes and being calm, and you know, doing the best job you can so the driver has the best chance.
With the French Riviera to the north, Sardinia to the south, and Italy lying just to the east, Corsica is an infusion of Mediterranean cultures. Famous as the birthplace of Napoleon Bonaparte, tourists also come to enjoy the breathtaking peaks of the mountains above Ajaccio. Snaking along the edge of these mountains are the infamous roads that make up one of the toughest, harshest and most perilous rounds of the WRC, the Rallye de France. Most of the stars of the WRC learn their trade on forest stages. Although they're fast on these asphalt roads, they're not as fast as drivers who grew up on them. Drivers like Gilles Panizzi. Marcus Gronholm's not an asphalt expert and accepted that his chances of winning on this surface were slim. But big points were necessary for his title chances, and he drove out of his skin to get them. Also in a Peugeot, Richard Burns. He's got to get on equal terms with Gronholm if he's to keep hold of his world title. It looked as though Petter Solberg's luck might be changing. He was going faster than Burns and chasing Gronholm and Panizzi. But that was the end of Petter's challenge. Those few precious seconds were enough to drop him 3 places. It was hard work in the Skoda Octavia too, the abrasive roads taking their toll on the driver and the car.
Super 1 for Tina. We are clear of stage. Our tires are...
Filip Bugalski is Citroen's asphalt expert, and he was here to spearhead their challenge. A consistent drive and no errors meant he was destined to finish 4th. But there was no doubt who was going fastest. Panizzi was simply stunning. 3 Peugeots leading the rally meant it was a confident air in the Peugeot camp.
The feeling with the car is perfect, and the car is very competitive, and I'm very happy for that.
Tommy Mäkinen ran into trouble when he ran into the rain. His Subaru aquaplaned off the road, hitting a rock with enough force to damage his suspension. Retirement number 2 for the Finn. Colin McRae's been a victim of Corsica's perilous roads in the past. One of the worst accidents of his career came here. Another smash in 2002.
It was after the car stopped I realised it was quite a severe impact, because the roll cage was in against my leg, so the biggest worry was just to get out of the car and make sure everything was okay. But it split the small finger wide open and burst the tendons and broken the bones as well, so it's not so good.
There was relief all round when the news came through that McRae was okay.
Richard Burns, we are going into the last stage now soon, so what is your expectation?
I understand.
Once again, it was Carlos Sainz who was the best of the Fords. He finished 6th. But it was Peugeot who was stealing the headlines. Burns was 3rd. Gronholm was 2nd. And Gilles Panizzi was just about to win in Corsica. All 3 Peugeots on the podium. That is history being made. And this is why Peugeot bring in their expert. 40 seconds faster than Marcus Gronholm. That's an amazing win for Panizzi. Filip Bugalski was the best of the rest.
Gilles, 8 stage wins on your home event. It's been a great rally for you.
Yes, fantastic, and happy, very happy. And I think it was not easy to win, but confident beginning to the end. And all the team are very confident for this result.
So Panizzi pops up on the leaderboard in the driver's title race, but thanks to his 2nd place in Corsica, Gronholm now leads. And just look at Peugeot's lead in the manufacturer's standings. They're going to be hard to beat. Just 2 weeks later, and another grueling asphalt event in Spain. Noisy, passionate and packed like sardines along the roadsides, rally fans in Spain are a phenomenon. Nobody loves this sport more than the Spaniards. They swarm in their hundreds of thousands to the stages, flying flags, wearing hats and T-shirts proclaiming their love for their hero, Carlos Sainz. Based in the seaside resort of Lloret de Mar, the rally heads to the inland peaks, where for 3 punishing days, the drivers tackle 18 merciless stages. Known at home as El Matador, Carlos Sainz rules. Without him, there might not be a WRC Rally Catalunya. Without him, Europe might have been robbed of one of the greatest events it has to offer. But it was bad news for the thousands of fans. A pre-rally crash had left Carlos injured and without the services of his regular co-driver Luis Moya. And he was replaced by Marc Marti. Colin McRae's finger was still healing from that bad smash in Corsica. There were rumours flying around that if it troubled the Scot, he might consider having it chopped off.
I think that's a last resort. I quite like it where it is. We'll try and keep it.
And keep it, he did. At times, Petter Solberg was on the pace of the Peugeots, setting 2 fastest stage times, but problems with the car meant he finished down in 5th. Still, that means points, and Tommi Mäkinen needs some of those just now. A visit to a ditch left him with overheating problems again. Don't let anyone tell you rally drivers aren't resourceful. Tommi made it back to service, but all the work was in vain. Retirement was inevitable. Once again, the Finn returned home empty-handed. Prize for the most bizarre picture of the rally goes to Skoda's Tony Gardemeister. Carlos Sainz was pleasing his fans, but they weren't pleasing him. Storming through the stage, he comes across 2 parked cars close to the side of the road.
John, we have gone off the road, place full of cars. Where we have cut, we found a car in the inside and a car in the outside of the vent, and I just couldn't control the car. Sorry, but
Pace notes are so important for the rally drivers, and it's essential they listen very carefully to everything that's said.
How can you be so stupid? I told you 2 times, huh? Okay, it's not too bad.
Sebastian Loeb must have been hoping he could repeat the flawless drive that brought him so close to victory in Monte Carlo. Not this time. The roll caused so much damage he simply couldn't go on. It's not often that Marcus Gronholm is the slowest of the Peugeots, but in Spain he was. He was down in 4th and separated from his teammates by Filip Bugalski's Citroën. That was good news for Richard Burns. He was flying, setting 2 fastest stage times and lying comfortably in 2nd. But there's no prizes for guessing who the winner was here. Gilles Panizzi dominated again, thrilling the crowds in the process. But perhaps he should have warned his co-driving brother Hervé first. Another great drive from the asphalt aces. Panizzi finished over half a minute ahead of Burns, but the Englishman will be pleased he got the better of Gronholm. So 2 asphalt rallies, 2 commanding wins. Gilles Panizzi really is something else on this surface. Those 2 wins also put Panizzi just behind Gronholm at the top of the standings, but the championship heads back to gravel, so it's goodbye to Panizzi for a while. But look at the job he's done for Peugeot. Just 4 rallies gone, and he's helped them build a comfortable lead. But before we say goodbye to Gilles Panizzi, let's find out a little bit more about him.
Driving, it's my life. It's a big passion, and I am obsessed to brake late and go fast in every corner. When the road is fast and the corner is... It's exciting. The car must be easy to drive. If you fight with the car, it's no good. You can win. Taxi driver, like that. Shock absorber. It's up because it's important to absorb the
Rally Cyprus is a relative newcomer to the World Rally Championship, but it has quickly established itself as a favourite for both drivers and fans. Based around Limassol, the Cyprus Rally zigzags through the Troodos Mountains. The gravel surface is strewn with sharp rocks that threaten to shred tyres and blast suspensions. And guess who loves conditions like that? Marcus Gronholm. But so does Richard Burns. And Colin McRae. And Tommy Mackinnon. Prepare yourself for an incident-packed fight between the big boys. Gilles Panitz is in Cyprus trying to get some experience on the gravel surface. This is what you call learning the hard way. Alistair McRae probably wished the cameras hadn't caught this roll. Harry Rovanperä went over too. There's something about this rally that's catching these guys out.
It's damp on the surface and there's a lot of grip, but the cars are set up for the rough stages, which means they're quite high. They have a lot of suspension travel, and I think that's why you have a lot of grip, plus they're high, and I think it's very easy to come into